Hi, I'm Dr. John Douillard, and welcome to LifeSpa.com, where we prove the ancient medical wisdom of Ayurveda with modern science. And today, I want to talk about how to fight brain fog, brain aging, and brain toxins, and what happens to your brain when you're on an herb called Bacopa. So we're going to dive into the details of this amazing brain tonic called Bacopa. If you like this video, you can read the associated article at LifeSpa.com, or you can sign up for our newsletter. You can also sign up for our YouTube channel and get these videos in your inbox every week. So Bacopa is a nootropic, which means that it's a cognitive enhancer. It is a brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is an herb that boosts a protein that actually helps you replicate brain cells. Remember when you were young, maybe you were a teenager, and your parents told you that if you drink, you kill brain cells and you can never grow them back? Well, the science shows you actually can. There's a protein in your brain called the BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, that actually helps you build brain cells. And Bacopa is one of the top herbs that support the production or the manufacturing of this protein called BDNF. Bacopa is also what they call a medirasayana. Medi means fat, rasayana means deep rejuvenative for mental and emotional and physical stress. It supports longevity and protects us from getting sick. So that's what a rasayana is. It's really based on the study of longevity. And a medirasayana means one that works on the fat, and the brain, we all know, is got a lot of fat in it. So that's why this herb is so good for your brain, because it works so incredibly well. The active ingredients in Bacopa are bacosides, or oftentimes concentrated and made into extracts to make them more potent. And I want you to be aware of some of those, because Ayurveda says when you start to alter the original constituents and consistency and ingredients of a plant, you actually affect its subtle energy, which Ayurveda says is the most powerful thing. So when you actually when you actually create an extract, you create a sterile product, so there's no microbes. And there's a lot of science now that's emerging suggesting that the bugs that like the roots and leaves of certain plants are not just there for fun, they're actually part of the intelligence of that plant. And there's a synergistic relationship there, and the bugs on that plant also support the biochemistry and the benefit and the effect of that plant as a medicinal herb or even as a food. So you can't just take the plant and then sterilize it and then take it and think you're actually getting something that nature intended for us. When you do that, you sort of make it more like a drug where there's going to be unwanted consequences. It might work more potently in some ways as a drug, but it sometimes actually has negative consequences. And I'm not against extracts because they are more potent. You can use them as kind of natural medicines, get on, get better, get off. But when you use the whole herb, you have the luxury of having them act as foods. The subtle intelligence of that plant supports our body in ways that allow you to take it on forever as a food without running into any of those side effects or risks. That's what's kind of really neat about the whole herbs, and that's what we do at LifeSpa. And in my article about this at LifeSpa.com, there's a link to an article I wrote about extracts versus whole herbs and why at LifeSpa we use the whole plant, all organic, because the microbes on them are so critically important. So back to Bacopa. Bacopa, I dug up a lot of research in this article to understand the benefits of Bacopa, how it works on brain fog, brain aging, brain fatigue, brain toxins even. And I found 4, which I thought was amazing, 4 double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study. That is the gold standard in the research. I found 4 of them. And I want to just list to you kind of a summary of all the benefits that all those 4 studies actually found. They showed that they increase learning, increase memory and information retention. They decrease worry, apprehension, nervousness. They increased mental control, so you have better control of your mind and your cravings and your desires, which is a good thing sometimes. They'd increase better logic and focus, and Bacopa is the #1 Ayurvedic herb is used for attention deficit kinds of issues, which is sort of, I think, really, really important. Bacopa is also a powerful protector of your brain. studies show with cigarette smoke, which does massive damage to the fats and the proteins in your brain, creates a lot of oxidation. Studies have actually shown that the Bacopa actually protected the brain from oxidative damage in the brain, particularly oxidative damage in the mitochondria of the brain, which are the parts of the cell that actually make the energy that we need to think and all that. And that's what Bacopa did in a powerful study. It also showed that it protects us from toxins like aluminum. One study showed that aluminum does severe damage to the brain chemistry and to, again, the delicate fats and proteins. And Bacopa protected what happens with aluminum. It breaks down the enzymes that act as antioxidants, and the Bacopa protected and stopped the aluminum from breaking down those antioxidants in your brain, so your brain stays clear and you can think well and all of that. Now, we know that the brain dumps 3 pounds of plaque and garbage out of our brain lymphatics every year while you sleep, so that's really important, and that's just trash, oxidative damage, waste products that have to get out of your head. So if you can help the body not produce all those waste products, you don't have as much trash to take out, which is also really, really important. They also found that nicotine in the cigarette smoke also does real severe damage to the liver. And it blocks the antioxidant enzymes like glutathione and superoxide dismutase and catalase. And again, Bacopa for the liver, in fact, this time, not just the brain, it actually protected, the liver by boosting the glutathione and the superoxide dismutase and the catalase that protect you from the oxidative damage and protected you from nicotine damage in the liver, which I thought was, kind of really, really important. So in summary, the questions are always like, well, how does this herb work? It doesn't just work one way. It works in numerous ways. In one study, it actually showed that it thickened the nerves of the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the part of the brain that's responsible for memory and for learning and for emotional control. Another study showed that Bacopa activated certain neurotransmitters that were specifically used in the body to regulate emotion, arousal, memory, and brain, and protecting you against brain aging. In another study, it found that, what I thought was really neat, when you have under stress or you have an immune event, there's going to be an inflammatory reaction where certain cytokines can actually be overzealous and actually be damaging. Well, Bacopa was shown under stress and in an immune event to actually protect the brain from the damage of these cytokines, both in the brain and also in the body. So Bacopa, a really great herb. It's a wonderful herb. I literally grow it in my garden. You can grow it yourself, which is kind of fun. Use the entire plant, which is kind of neat. And so it's a really fun herb to have in your garden. I highly recommend you look into it. Learn more about Bacopa. Really great this winter, particularly as we go into the cold season where we want to, where Vata, the nervous system, can get out of balance, can affect our memory, can affect our focus, and can affect our brain lymphatic function. So check out this article at LifeSpa.com. When you're there, please sign up for our newsletters to get all the articles associated with these videos. And of course, you can also sign up for our YouTube channel and get these videos, weekly, so you never miss them. All right, thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard. Do you like this video? Don't forget to subscribe and share.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at LifeSpa.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.